everyone, and today I'm going to show you the A320 cockpit and also explain the controls in it. And we'll see, I mean, there are actually approximately 300 to 400 controls in this plane. So I'm going to explain them. Well, yes, I'm going to explain them. So let's start from the top. Let's go here. Yeah. Alright. So this thing, this APU, you see, if you pull that thing up, that turns on the APU, that is auxiliary power unit. So, you know, we turn that mainly on while turning on our engines and for extra power supply, you know what. Yeah. So now on the left side of our APU, you have our engine 1 fire, and it's actually used for extinguishing the fire in the engine and not to put it on. Okay. And again, on the right side, you have engine 2 fire, and we use that in emergency situations. All right. So under this APU stuff, we have our fuel pumping system of our aircraft. So this is engine 2 pump, and this side we have engine 1 pump. Yeah. And beside it you have a flap pump, which is basically the hydraulic system, you know. Yeah, so you don't want it to fail. So before starting up the plane, you set that all on. And if we go under it, you have our another fuel supply system again, and that's kind of the same thing that was above it. Now here under it, the third one, this thing is it shows the batteries. So battery 1 and battery 2. There are 2 batteries in this A320. So if you turn those batteries on, then only these controls would work. And okay. So now that was a battery system, and this is all about the batteries. If you want external power or APU system connection or something like that. And here you have our, again, it has something to do with the APU system. So what it really does is adjusts the power supply that we really get. And it also has a separate, this one down is our, oxygen supply, cabin oxygen supply. And see, you can hear, you can see at the on the right side it's written air cond. I think that stands for conditioner, whatever. So it's about the air, conditioning, how cold you want it, passenger air supply, and all that stuff. So now the last upper panel, in the center, is our lights. Here you have anti-ice as well at the top. Then you have lights under the anti-icing. This thingy is your light. So you have beacon, strobe, landing lights, navigation, and logo. Let me see if they actually move. Wait a minute. Nope, they don't. Whatever. So and if you see on this side, you have a cabin press. That's usually used for air pressure, and cockpit lights, those, and lights and all these, these things glow. Yeah, that is the cockpit light. One more thing, here, this it's also used for adjusting the air pressure in our cockpit. Now let's move to the sides. Here you have our flaps control. You can, see, you have a flap 1, 2, and 3, 4. So what they really are, I'll show you. Yes. There are 2 main flaps that move. So one is on our right side. Here you can see a small cut, might not, but whatever. That is the flap 1 and 2 and all that stuff. On the other side also, as you can see, you have 2 spoilers as well. There are only 2 spoilers that go up. Look. Spoilers. Yeah, that 1 and 2. So that's what is the flap 1 and 2. Similarly, I don't think I can move it. Okay, I can, yeah. You see that cut in the middle? That is flap 1 and 2, and the number, not that setting. Alright, whatever. So So now let's wait. Where were we? Yes, this. Now here you have another radio control system, like from where you want your ATC controllings, radios, and all that stuff. They're controlled by this radio panel. Now, if we move to the back, this is your electric board that is controlling the electric power on different parts of the plane. Now, this is a lot of buttons, and this whole panel is for controlling the electricity. Now, let's move to our left side. This is it's again our air pressure system, and see, you can call like ADC, you can choose that. Then oxygen, see, like you can choose the pressure on, off, oxygen, and here you have, yeah, this is also the oxygen control, the first, the third and fourth. Now you have a GPWS, you know, it says like callouts that 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, retard, and all that stuff, like 1000. So that is the GPWS. You can control it like on, off, or more, and everything else. Now, evacuation system. That is the, you know, that slide that, well, yeah, kind of, whatever it is. Now, it's an evacuation system. This whole thing is an evacuation system. Now, at the top, again, you have a different radio control and direction system, and as well SDGs and all that. Now you have the fire thing. Now let's continue with our bottom. So, I think, yeah, this gravity gear extension, you know, if you've played Airline Commander, they have unlock, and unlock. Well, that's totally silly, you know, whatever. So actually, this, you know, when the gear fails, you can just pull this thing back and get the gear down because of the help of, by the help of gravity. Like it just pulls it down. Now that is the parking brake, which doesn't move. Okay, whatever. So you just have to twist it. You know, see, off, and on this side, after the K, under the K, there's an on. So now let's move here. Above it, you have a rudder trim. For setting the trim, you know, 2.4, 4.5. It's basically how much you want our elevator to move. That is very important during takeoffs. Yeah, you must calculate it and set it at the right number, or you'll end up crashing. Now, that is the engine one, and those buttons, the ones with rectangles at the top, those are used for starting them, and that regulator at the bottom is an ignition, you know, ignition regulator. Means you turn it to engine 1 and it'll ignite, then you turn it 0, and then when you want to start engine 2, you turn it to engine 2. Now, this, of course, maybe all of you might be knowing, this is your throttle. We might be able to see it with a better view in this. Yeah, that is the throttle. Yes, and as you can see, it actually moves, which is quite nice. Now, see, we go above it, and you have again a few, you know, ECAM and more radio systems like callouts and all that stuff. And here at the top, you have our engine, fuel pressure, and power system. You also get alarms at this blank space where green stuff, 2 strobe lights on, whatever, takeoff flaps, that thing, checklists and alarms all appear in this region, and you have 2 of them actually, for I don't know why, but whatever. Now you to this side, yeah, that thing, I think you can read flaps over there, and it really is a flap. Alright, now this is a speed brake, that is the spoilers. There's a huge fault in here. It goes into the cockpit. Alright, whatever. Okay, leave it. So now, this thing is again like the times, the daytime, the time of the day. You know, you can select the time of the day, and here again you can do your flight plan and all that stuff. All this stuff in this keyboard kind of thing. It's a keyboard. Alright, whatever. Now let's move on to our main panel in the front, and this is our one more GPWS control, the callouts, and this thing is the ILS, Instrumental Landing System. It's used for landing, like if you don't have visibility, you can use this thing. It's quite helpful. Now it shows, along with that landing system, it also has speed, altitude, AGL. It has AGL and that sea level altitude as well. Now this is your PFD, primary flight display, and it's a kind of map. So it shows wind and how much nautical miles you have for your next waypoint, and our facing heading, and your next waypoint is also written here, and where you are in the map. When these two stop working, you have backup displays right here. That small little ILS, you see that? It's on both sides. I think. No, it's not. Whatever. So now, again, you have the very same things over there, and now this central. All right, I did not talk about this. This is the gear, up or down. Definitely wouldn't work now, but this lever you see, we put it up and the gear goes up. And this thing at the top, you have unlock. Means before you do the gravity gear out, you have to press this unlock. You can't just directly press that gravity gear or directly press this unlock and then you're free to land, which is wrong. So this thingy is here, all right, in the center. Now let's move here. This is the alarm panel on the side. Like you can turn off this alarm, and all of this thing in here is autopilot stuff. So for one regulator, there's a VS, then SDG, then altitude, and speed. So now this is all of that control to this is all the button to control the autopilot and how much you really want it. Now again, this is the alarm panel. So now this thing, that stick fly-by-wire, up, down, pull up and pull down. It controls the elevator. Like you might have heard of a yoke, which is present somewhere here. Not in the A320 though. But in the A320, instead of that yoke, you have this fly-by-wire. That stick. You move that stick, fly-by-wire to control the plane's nose up or down. Now, even to turn sideways, you have, look here, it moves there and there. So that is. It's a big improvement, really. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and you can see the controls clearly. The yoke comes in the way of this ILS and PFD. So that was all of this cockpit explained, and it was pretty fun as well. And you should know all of this to operate a real simulator like X-Plane or MSFS. So that kind of thing. Now that was all the controls of the plane explained, and I forgot one thing completely. Those paddles at the bottom, those are the rudder paddles. If you hit that, if you press that with one leg at the right side, then the right, you'll go right with the rudder and left with the rudder respectively. All right, now, and they're on both sides, so you can control your rudder from both sides, which is quite helpful. Now that was all the controls of this A320-200, and it was really fun in explaining all that stuff. So that's all for today's video, and thank you for watching. Goodbye. We'll see you later in the next video.